Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
Whatever.
Okay, we're doing another one.
No. Just go.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sorry. We're having a little too... We enjoy our jobs. A little too much, apparently.
Well, here's what happened. Okay? Jared's over here talking about how there's something coming out of somewhere. And all I can
They're already out there saying, yeah, must have to be there.
all I can think about is the day that my sister called me at work, okay, to tell me, she's like, you know how sometimes you get like a little piece of mascara in your eye and you just have to get it out, right? Yeah. I'm thinking you're calling me for this. She goes, yeah, that happened to me. And I got it out and I looked at it and I realized that's a bug.
Ew!
So now, to understand what made this funny to me is that a couple years ago, she told me a story of how she was in the car, she was gonna sneeze or whatever, she needed to blow her nose. She grabbed a tissue from the box in the car, blew her nose, and there was a spider in it. And she's, to this day, I don't know if the spider was already in the tissue or if it came out of her nose. So when she called me about the bug in her eye, I say to her on the phone in my office, you know, the rate at which you have crawly things coming out of your orifices really scares me. And then suddenly I hear from the aisle over, what? I'm just saying.
It concerns me. I think she's got some kind of like oogie boogie something going on.
We should
unravel her. The bugs just fly out. Well,
that might explain some things.
There's a reason why they call them earwigs, you know. Speaking of bugs.
My mom, once we were doing artwork and she had an earwig like crawling up her neck.
I hate those. Out of all bugs, I hate those the most. And I hate them that when you like pick them up with a tissue and you squish them, they don't die. And you have to flush them and drown them. Dead.
Okay.
And then they come out from the toilet.
No, they do! They do! Okay, let me tell you what happened to me.
FYI, this is not what was planned on the agenda for today.
Because we have agendas.
We do.
No, I am telling you that after I had used the facilities in my own house or somewhere else.
Monster gaggle of earwigs came up.
No, I found a spider like crawling out from underneath the seat and I'm thinking, how long have you been there?
Oh.
Pervert, first of all. Second of all, ew! So then the other day, I can't touch what's touching the spider, okay? So the other day there was a spider above the light fixture and he's like hanging out right there and I can't get ready because I can stand right there where the spider is right there. Because
I thought people have been dead before. She screams so loud.
I once called the 12-year-old neighbor kid to come over and kill a spider for me. And I was kind of embarrassed about it at the time, but I didn't care. So yeah, so this is what I did. The spider's like up above the light, and I sprayed him with hairspray until he was paralyzed.
With what?
Hairspray.
That's what I thought you said.
That's the only reason I have it. It's my bug killer.
Efficient bug killer.
One time, I was sitting in the office at home, and there was a spider. He was like doing laps around the top of the wall by the ceiling.
He was making a web big enough to catch you is what he was doing.
That was my fear. And I couldn't just release.
Exactly. Don't tell me he's doing laps.
I thought that maybe
you can justify it all you want.
I thought maybe he was training for something. At any rate, I wasn't just going to sit there and take it.
She'll last me for years.
Here's the thing. You can't just ignore it because there's only one thing worse than a spider. An MIA spider.
No. Well.
Right? Oh, he used to be right there, but now I can't find him. Where is he? Probably in your hair. But not for you. Anyway, so guess what I did? I took the phone book, because this was a while ago, and I threw it at it, and I got him after a couple of tries. There was a time in my life where I lived in a basement, and there would be what we...
Some girls are vampire slayers, others are spider slayers.
I'm telling you. So we had what I called these Tylenol spiders. Their bodies were like capsules, half red and half white, and they were disgusting.
I have those in my house still.
Yeah, see, no, it's gross. And so I would take a shoe and put it on top of the spider and then make somebody else take care of it after that because no.
And you had to be careful with them because
Do they explode?
they stain. Like if they're big
Really?
enough. Yeah, and you immediately you didn't know you were gonna get household cleaning tips today.
Helpful hints from Jared.
When you kill those red spiders, you gotta get out your cleaner and clean it up post haste. And dab, don't rub. That is all. So
Speaking of household hints and cleaners, do I have a story for you? Okay. Here's what happens. My doorbell rings, and it's this lady. Now,
do they still do that? Sell door to door? Wow.
She was doing it.
What was it? What brand?
I don't know. She could have made it in the back of her car for all I know. But here's what happens. So she comes to my door, and of course she does the the tactful drop the name of my neighbor lady, right? Oh,
I
yeah.
think they go around and just look at mailboxes.
No,
Mrs. So-and-so.
Yeah, well, and then she was like, yeah, she told me to come over here, that you guys would adopt me. Okay, this is a grown woman, FYI. And I'm thinking, okay, first of all, no. And second of all, what? What do you want from me? So she starts talking cleaning product, and she's got this stuff, and she's giving me her spiel. Wow.
I'm being proactive. Continue.
He's doing drugs right here in front of everybody.
Steroids, no less.
Yeah. So she's standing there, she's peddling her cleaning products to me. And she uses it like on the door, like on the storm door. And she says to me, what do you normally use to clean the glass?
Windex? Isn't
No.
that the default?
Yes, and I'm sure that's what she
Okay.
wanted me to say. That's not what I said. What I said to her was, I don't. My husband does it. To which then she says later, she's like, cleaning the carpet, or she's asked about something else. I'm like, I don't.
You let her in to clean her carpet?
No. She like, yeah, it was
She
like
had a
all right there at the
demonstration.
door. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
wow.
like cleaning the ground.
She breathes her own carpet. That's
Yeah,
prepared.
what do you use to clean out your grout? I don't. My husband does it, right? How much money do you spend every year on cleaning products? How many
don't
times
know.
do I have to tell you? I'm on the couch eating bonbons. You're interrupting my stories to talk to me about the cleaning that somebody else does. And that wasn't bad enough.
She continued? What a pushy
Oh,
girl.
no. The whole time throughout this whole ordeal, she called me mom.
What? How
Yes.
old was she?
I'm telling you, she's our age, at least.
Then she needs to be put to sleep.
Well, speaking of being put to sleep,
I had no idea.
so I have another story. I have this friend who was dating this girl. She worked for a dentist, and she.
Now, this is already giving me a creepy date rape vibe. And you haven't even started.
No, this girl was not the brightest tool in the shed.
Clearly.
Or brightest crayon in the box. Whatever.
Sharpest card in the deck. Brightest bulb in the socket. I could go on.
She was one cheap toy short of a Happy Meal. Tell me another one.
We'll play this game another time on a fun Friday.
Okay, anyway, that's what she was, okay? So she talked.
Oh, wow, I haven't heard that in a while. Anyway.
Why do you always make me cry?
I make her cry in a good way. She acts like so horrible. She acts like I'm murdering puppies or something in front of her. That would make you cry.
That would make me strangle you.
And then you would cry.
Anyway, so she was talking about working at the dentist's office and how she said, now of course, all right, we all know what she meant, but she said, you know, some people don't need to be put to sleep, but some people really should be. And it was all we could do not to say, like you, for instance. Put to sleep? Really?
Well, what was she, a hygienist? What was she? I don't want her working on my teeth, is what I'm saying.
I can't imagine that she got very far.
I just need to know. More importantly, I now need to know what office after we're done.
I have no
So I
idea.
can know
This was like right after high school.
Oh, okay, then I'm
This was
safe.
a long time. She's probably put to sleep by now. I don't know. maybe she got that cheap toy. Who knows? Maybe things are better now. Anyway.
Wow. So better now. Speaking of better now, things are about to get better here in our state of Utah as we celebrate our local holiday.
That's right.
Of the 24th of July.
Pioneer Day.
Pioneer Day.
Day of our statehood. Now, I'll point out this interesting fact. Back on the 4th of July, my husband pointed out that, we're watching the city parade that has turned into a parade of commercials, right? It's just...
we'll go there later.
Yeah, it's just advertisements for things. Vote for me, buy our stuff, whatever.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's not
That's not fun.
Anyway, like, where are the clowns? Where are the creepy clowns? Just kidding, I don't really want the creepy clowns. At any rate, he pointed out that, he says, it seems like the 24th of July parade is a much bigger deal than the 4th of July. And I said, well, that's probably true because it seems like here we celebrate the 24th of July, whereas other states don't necessarily celebrate their statehood day.
Right,
therefore,
and that's what it is.
Yeah, so therefore they make a big deal out of...
The day we renounced polygamy.
I don't think that was that day.
I don't think it was either, but it surely helped our cause.
Did it? Anyway, so yes, apparently the 24th of July, and I've been in the 24th of July parade.
When?
In high school.
What did you do?
I marched in it.
Were you in the marching band?
Don't pretend like we weren't friends! You did it back then and it was hurtful. You do it now and it's just worse.
There she is with her cymbals.
We were watching, oh my gosh, speaking of symbols. Okay, so we are watching, they have this clip at the end of the news and they were showing all these different clips of the Star Spangled Banner being sung or played or whatever, and where things would get messed up some of the time, right? So there's like this little band of these kids, probably junior high, and they're playing, and the kid takes his cymbals and he smacks them together and then drops one of them accidentally, and he's like, it's so funny. He stands there for a second, doesn't know what to do, sets the other one down, and then salutes the flag. That was good. It was a good save for a probably 13-year-old kid. It was just the look on his face. He's like, just do this now. It was awesome. Oh, apparently the cymbals broke. Producer tells us the cymbals broke.
Cymbals broke. How do cymbals break? Producer?
The strap.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you couldn't hold on to it anymore?
I thought maybe the metal had
it shattered.
concaved or something. He put a dent in it.
He's a very strong 13-year-old. Strapping young man.
Speaking of steroids. Just kidding.
Oh, I do like to talk about steroids. What else have we got?
So maybe quickly we'll end on this because I didn't really want to devote a lot of time to this, but I found it amusing.
Okay.
So our dear friend Channing Tatum has...
He's more than a friend.
He's I don't know how to do bigger air quotes. Anyway.
Get rid of the air quotes. We're friends.
You need a minute alone.
Yeah. Call me Tatum, Channing.
He just had a kid! Not too long ago.
I could take care of his kid.
So
I'd be happy to do it.
He and Jamie Foxx are in the new movie. Well, a while. It's new enough. White House Down.
Loved it.
We did. It was fantastic. Go check it out. So Jamie Foxx was on Jimmy Kimmel Live in, I want to say February-ish.
Okay.
And he did a song spoof because it's Jimmy Kimmel, and they have their little skits. And he has a new song called...
Oh boy.
I Want a Channing All Over Your Tatum. So here's my question. We all know that Mr. Tatum is he's Channing. And I always say if there's a man that can turn a straight man gay and back again, probably Channing Tatum.
And back again, wow.
He's that good. So I was wondering if, he was at all offended about this, because I thought, I don't know how I would feel about this.
Right.
It has some references. It's clear, that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So they've now made a music video, and if you haven't checked it out, check it out
on it
on YouTube, I suggest you do, because it's pretty funny, but I do want to read a snippet of Channing is now participating in this video with Jamie.
Naturally.
And
he
this
seems
is
like the
part
type. Okay.
of his rap that Channing says. And I'm not going to rap it because I have
Just get
no
to
rhythm.
the point.
But if you're going to go in Channing, then you better be warned. Go in Channing on the Tatum makes the babies be born.
Oh my!
Respect the name my mama gave me and don't be no fool. Please be smart before you Channing. Also stay in school.
What a lovely PSA.
It was, wasn't it?
Now I know that we're over time, but
We are over time.
I really want to just throw in the dream that I had about Channing Tatum recently.
Oh, Lord.
I dreamed that poor Channing Tatum lost his life in a heroic effort to save a drowning 7-year-old.
Because and anybody that's seen White House Down, he does stuff like that.
See? So they both died. They were having a joint funeral that Jared and I were invited to, of course.
Because we were going to
Because
cover
we're
it.
friends. So we go to this funeral, and it's at the BYU Stadium.
Local university
yes.
here in Utah.
Cougar Stadium is what we were calling it in the dream. Is that what it's called? Anyway,
Yeah.
Cougar Stadium. So we're at the stadium. They wheel out the caskets, empty, open, and then they bring out
This part is great.
they bring out Channing and the 7-year-old, and I see Channing like in his casket, and I'm like, oh, he looks pretty good. He looks like Channing, the Channing that I went to lunch with last week, I'm sure. And then these kids have to like put the 7-year-old in his, and they like kind of dump him in there, and he kind of rolls over, and they have to make a quick save, and it's kind of awkward. And
Had to jiggle him around a little bit.
not too hard though. So then so they take care of that, and then Jared and I are talking, and somebody else comes up, and they're talking about, I heard that Steve Young was paying for this entire funeral. And I said, well, yes, I understand that Steve Young and Channing Tatum were really good friends. And clearly with us as well, because we were invited.
Of course.
And then all sorts of other funky things happened, and then I had to go out to listen to a really long message from my mother that didn't make any sense. And then when I came back in, they were watching a movie, and I went in the wrong door, and I was in the movie, not watching the movie, I was part of the movie, and then I had to get out and come back in. It was really, really hectic, but I just wanted everybody to know that I was invited to Channing
She doesn't
Tatum's
really
funeral.
need to go to movies at all. She
really
does her
don't.
own movies in her head.
It's true. At any rate, we're good friends with Channing and Steve Young.
I ain't got nothing for that. But, yeah.
Figures.
So,
All right, we'll let you go this time.
all right, I'm Jared.
I'm sorry.
Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you later.